Different punctuations used in grammar: colons, semicolons, and commas. When writing, it is important to have correct grammar. Having correct grammar makes sure that there are no misunderstandings because it clarifies the reading material in a way that makes it understandable for readers. There are many important tips and rules to grammar, but today's lesson will focus on the use of colons, semicolons, and commas. A colon is a punctuation mark that is represented by two equally sized dots with one above the other, as seen on the left. A colon is used for many purposes, including to emphasize something, to show dialogue, quotes, text, lists, time, or explanations, or to separate a title and subtitle. Here are some example sentences of how colons are used. The first sentence is an example of a colon being used to emphasize something. Only one thing ever popped into Annabelle's mind when she thought of the fair: elephant ears. The second sentence is an example of a colon being used to show something. In this case, it is a list. Annabelle loves all different kinds of dogs: Doberman, German Shepherd, Dalmatian, and Husky. The third sentence is an example of a colon being used to separate a title and subtitle. The title of this lesson is Different Punctuation Marks Used in Grammar: Colons, Semicolons, and Commas. A semicolon is a punctuation mark that is represented by a dot above a comma, as seen on the right. A semicolon has two purposes. The first is to connect two closely related independent clauses. An independent clause is a sentence that expresses a complete thought. For example, Annabelle loves chocolate milk is an example of an independent clause. Semicolons can connect two independent clauses with or without a transitional word. A transitional word is a linking word that connects sentences. For example, the words and, besides, however, furthermore, and finally are transitional words. The second purpose is to make a list more clear. These are some examples of semicolons in sentences. The first sentence shows how a semicolon can connect two independent clauses without a transitional word. There is an important test tomorrow in our history class. We should stay in and study tonight. The second sentence is an example of how a semicolon can connect two independent clauses with a transitional word. Annabelle always loved going to the beach. However, she was afraid of seeing sharks. The transitional word in this sentence is however. The third sentence is an example of how a semicolon is used to make lists clear. The different cities around the world that I want to visit are the city of London, London, Tokyo, Japan, and New York, New York. Commas have many uses, including to join independent clauses with or without the word and, to come after an introductory phrase that introduces an independent clause, to make lists, to separate information that is not needed in sentences, to separate adjectives, to clear up dates, geographical names and titles, and to separate expressions. An introductory phrase is a phrase that comes before an independent clause. There are many ways commas can be used. These next few examples will only show a few of those ways. Example 1 shows commas being used to join independent clauses with the word and. Annabelle ate 3 candy canes, and her little sister ate 4 candy canes. The second example shows how commas are used to make lists. My 3 favorite ice cream flavors are cookies and cream, Rocky Road, and chocolate mousse tracks. Example 3 shows how commas are used to separate adjectives in a sentence. My dog has long, dark brown, curly hair. With a better understanding of colons, semicolons, and commas, you will now have to practice how to use them. In these sentences, you will have to decide whether the sentence needs a colon, semicolon, or comma where the line is. Pause the video to do the practice. When you are done, press play again to see the answers. This is the answer key to the practice. If you got them correct, continue with the video. If you got the answers wrong, go back in the video to understand what colons, semicolons, and commas do. Colons, semicolons, and commas help make a person's writing clear so that it is readable. Now that you know how to use these punctuation marks, your writing will be much more clear. Thanks for watching.